What's up, girls and boys? What's up, internet? I am Bianca, and for today, I will be sharing with you all my latest Tamagotchi Nano V-Pets from the Kimetsu no Yaiba series. I think I've said this enough times already, but Kimetsu no Yaiba, or Demon Slayer for those who are living in the West, is one of my all-time favorite anime and manga series. One that I not only binge-watched the heck out of when the anime came out, but also read through and pored over the manga of. I like the characters and their character development and growth, the premise of the story, which is this young boy forced to train and take the mantle of a demon slayer after his family was brutally murdered by a demon, while the only surviving family member, his sister, got turned into a demon herself, and his quest to search for a way to bring her back and take revenge on the one responsible for, what happened to her and to their family, which is, that story is very well put together. Not to mention that it's a series that didn't take its story into a long-winded path chock full of filler arcs despite its popularity. And the animation, especially the battle sequence, I got blown away by them. Speaking of its popularity, I suppose that is one of the reasons why this was taken and turned into a Tamagotchi, which is what I will be showcasing for today. So right here, I have two of the different versions of the Kimetsu no Yaiba Tamagotchi Nano line. The one on the left is part of the first wave of release, which featured faceplates for the four main characters of the series, Tanjiro, Nezuko, Inosuke, and Zenitsu. There's also the Mizunoto version. This one that I have though, it's Zenitsu's. The other Tamagotchi Nano that I have here is the Hashira Gathering version, and this one has 9 different faceplates, one for each of the Hashira or pillars in the series: Giyu, Mitsuri, Obanai, Sanemi, Gyomei, Rengoku, Tengen, Muichiro, and Shinobu. And although I love Shinobu and she is my favorite Hashira of the bunch, I went with Rengoku's for the Hashira Gathering version. Now, the reason why I picked these two despite not being my favorite characters is because their faceplates or cases are the ones that had the cleanest designs, barring of course Tanjiro and Nezuko's, which is just so unfairly priced here that I didn't bother to buy them despite wanting to. Anyways, apart from the casing themselves, the difference between the versions also lie in the characters you can take care of, the daily reports, the missions, as well as the type of training you can put your demon slayers under. If you fancy raising your own Tanjiro, Nezuko, Inosuke, and Zenitsu for instance, then you will want to get the first wave of Kimetsu no Yaiba Tamagotchis. If you want to focus more on the Hashira or get Genya and Kanao, then the Hashira Gathering version is the one for you. Now, before we dive into which one I personally like, let's talk more about the mechanics in this Tamagotchi Nano line series and the difference each of these have in a bit more detail. Right off the bat, upon pulling out the tab to start your caretaking journey for one of the demon slayers, you will immediately notice a big difference between the two versions. In the first wave, or the standard version, we are shown a pixelated rendition of the selection exam's finale, with our character passing and being given the rank of Mizunoto, which is an exclusive character to this version. For the Hashira Gathering, we are shown the symbol of the pillar for which the design is from. In this case, the flame symbol for the flame pillar, Rengoku, followed by Mizunoto slaying 2 demons and graduating to the Kinoe rank. Unlike Mizunoto, which is exclusive to the standard version, Kinoe is a character or rank also available in the first wave of the Kimetsu no Yaiba line. Essentially, in the standard version, the evolution is as follows. You start off with Mizunoto, then based from how you raise your Demon Slayer, you can get them to evolve into Kinoe, which then later evolves to one of the 9 pillars, or evolve them into Tanjiro, Inosuke, or Zenitsu. If you manage to evolve them into Tanjiro, then you will get a chance for a special evolution to turn them into Nezuko. Meanwhile, in the Hashira Gathering version, since we started off as Kinoe, the evolution would immediately be one of the 9 pillars, with the Genya and Kanao evolutions being special evolutions for both Sanemi and Shinobu respectively. Moving on to the training section, which is one of the requirements for getting your desired Demon Slayer, particularly for the Hashira Gathering version. Each version has different training sessions to it as well. In the standard version, the training sessions are all derived from Tanjiro's training from the final selection arc and the rehabilitation training arc. These include the splitting stones, gourd breaking, and medicated water. For splitting stones, a sword will appear waving over a stone, and it's our job to press the A or B button when the sword is right at the middle of it to cut it in half. In order to successfully complete this training session, we have to cut the stone at least once. Gourd breaking will require us to press the A button as much and as fast as we can in order for our Demon Slayer to blow into the gourd and break it from within. It takes around 15 button presses in order to completely break the gourd. Medicated water has Kanao in it with 2 cups on the screen. It is our job to press the sequence of buttons that appear on the top left of the screen as quickly as we can. Failing to do so will have our Demon Slayer splashed with water and fail that round. In order to succeed in this training, we have to successfully respond at least once. As for the Hashira Gathering version, the Hashira training arc is where they got the idea from. It has physical training, boulder lifting, and total concentration for its training sessions. In physical training, Aoi will appear and have you chase after her. In order to succeed, you would have to press the buttons just when the exclamation mark appears. Like the Splitting Stones training, you would have to succeed once in order to gain happiness from this training. Boulder lifting has Inosuke attempting to raise a bunch of boulders in it. Like gourd breaking, the idea here is to press the A button as much and as quickly as you can. Similarly, 15 button presses would suffice in order to keep the boulders lifted high enough for it to be considered a perfect training. Total concentration is the medicated water equivalent for the Hashira Gathering version. Here, our Demon Slayer is lying in bed and we have to press the corresponding buttons in order not to get hit by a carpet beater and succeed the training. I personally have no preference on which of these training sessions I enjoy, and most likely you will be focusing on one or the other if you want to get a particular Demon Slayer. Another thing to note is that each successful training gains you 1 happiness, while a perfect training nets you 2. Now, let's talk about daily reports. Daily reports occur at a specific time, normally 30 minutes after an hour. And these are short animations delivered by Kasugai Crows that depict certain events from the anime and the manga series, and they differ depending on what version you have. Now, I haven't unlocked all of them, but in the Hashira Gathering version, I have seen Nezuko popping out, Tanjiro and the others sleeping, Shinobu speaking with the master, and for the standard version, I've come across Muzan walking along the streets, the master's smiling face, Haganezuka charging at you for breaking another sword, just to name a few. Missions, in all honesty, and the way I see it, is this Tamagotchi Nano's version of poop, or in this case, it's the dangerous kind of poop, the one that can potentially injure and kill your Demon Slayer, considering they come in the form of demons. There are 4 possible demons that could appear for each version of the Demon Slayer Tamagotchi, and all it takes is a single press of a button to vanquish them. If you don't, they will gradually take over the screen, and once they've pushed your Slayer far enough out of the screen, will cause them to be injured. They also appear more frequently at night, where they also move quite faster compared to the day. Now, I haven't gotten both of my Demon Slayers killed just yet, and I don't plan on letting that happen, especially since I got Tanjiro and I got Shinobu, but from what I have gathered, these Demon Slayers can live for as long as a month, maybe even more depending on the battery life of your Tamagotchi Nano, before they decide to set off somewhere else and you can start caring for a new one, which is pretty unbelievable in terms of the longevity of a virtual pet's life. And as someone who has only ever had 1 Tamagotchi, and that was ages ago when I was still a kid, and had only ever been interested in Digimon virtual pets and Digivices, I am really happy with the Kimetsu no Yaiba Tamagotchi, small as they are. For one, they are much easier to take care of compared to the Digimon V-Pets, especially the 20th version that I have, where my Digimon likes to poop a lot and required too much attention. Though getting the Demon Slayer that you may want can be quite of a challenge, especially with how new this line of Tamagotchi Nano is and the bunch of conflicting info on how to get a particular one. Still, taking care of these Demon Slayers is a pretty chill business, and I'm saying that from the point of view of someone who has the Hashira Gathering version for 2 weeks now and the standard for a week. As for which version I prefer, well, I like the standard version in terms of the number of characters they offer, which includes Tanjiro and Nezuko. But at the same time, Kanao is in the Hashira Gathering version, which was enough to make me get this as well. Truth be told though, it would have been a much better idea to have separated Tanjiro and Nezuko instead of bundling them up together. Because at this moment, most people's decision, at least based from what I have read around forums, are on the designs of the Tamagotchi themselves, first and foremost. And most are surprised when they realize that Hashira Gathering version won't let them get Tanjiro or Nezuko. Balancing the character distribution out would have been a much better idea instead of lumping the main characters together in one version. But hey, that's just my personal opinion on the matter. Either way, if you're looking for a rather chill way to pass time, and if you're a fan of Kimetsu no Yaiba, then you would definitely love these, especially with how cute the pixelated graphics of the characters are and how well the daily reports are presented. Now, if only they would make one for My Hero Academia. Anyways, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, you guys know the drill. Dream on, fly on. Bye-bye for now. Keep safe, everyone.
Someday we'll have a last conversation, drink our last cup of coffee. Someday we might be 80 and think about the different things we